Welcome to DRC Live, powered in part by Classic of Denton and the Denton Record-Chronicle. The views and opinions expressed by the show hosts and their guests are those of the show host and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com, or the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com.
Good afternoon, Denton, Texas. I'm Lucinda Breeding. I am the features editor at the Denton Record-Chronicle, and with me is
Jenna Duncan. I'm actually now the digital editor.
She's the digital editor. Woo woo! Go Jenna!
Record-Chronicle.
She's no longer the business and higher ed editor.
Yeah, it's very weird. So we're going through a transition, I guess, at work.
Yes.
So I'm not writing as much, but this means that I know a ton more stuff because I'm on top of everything that's happening on our website. So more diversified information instead of just business news, though that will definitely still be included.
Yes, it will.
With that announcement, what are you working on? It's like the beginning of festival season. I can feel it in the warm air today.
Yes. I was a little bit shocked this morning when I asked Alexa, hey, what is the high going to be again? And Alexa's like, today expect a high of 84. And I'm like, wait, what?
I know. I had to ask again. And then I pulled it up on my phone and saw the high is 89 tomorrow.
That's crazy. It's like, I did switch over my heater to my air conditioner today.
Yeah.
Might not need it, but if it's going to be 89 tomorrow. Anyway.
Yeah, crazy.
Yes. So this means this is the harbinger of festival season, and we actually have two festivals this weekend, which there is some historical precedent for. Mm-hmm. The long time, really, really established festival that is this weekend is the Texas Storytelling Festival, and it has been in Denton for just ever and ever, and it is exactly what it says it is. It is a festival of stories and storytelling. It actually starts tomorrow. It runs March 12th through the 15th in Quakertown Park, and there is plenty of free content, so check out Denton Time on our website tomorrow or in your daily paper tomorrow, and we'll have a festival schedule for you. But really, this is it every year. Storytelling Festival begins with ghost stories or ghost tales, and it's really fun, really fun stuff. And ghost stories are going to be free.
I was going to say, it's kind of like the first thing of the fest.
It's the first thing of the fest, yes.
It's so much fun. It happens like right after dark.
Yep. Oh, you guys, I said Quakertown Park. It's at the Civic Center. It's at the Denton Civic Center at 321 East McKinney Street.
Which is really close.
To Quakertown Park. So pardon me for getting that wrong. There are going to be 3 Denton storytellers in the Storytelling Festival this year. Mm-hmm. And that's out of 35. So that's a lot of storytelling. And chances are you guys have seen these folks before. There's Dalton Gregory, who was on the on city council. He was a school principal.
Yes.
He really is. He's a fantastic storyteller.
He's a hilarious storyteller. He will make you belly laugh.
I went to a kids storytelling event during a Texas Storytelling Festival many years ago, and Dalton Gregory told this story about a pet snake that chased cars. And I was like on the edge of my seat. I was like, I know this is a tall tale, but I'm really into this. And the last line was just hilarious. But so Dalton Gregory is going to be telling some J.B. Keith, who is actually a founding member of the Presenting Association, which is Tejas Storytelling Association. So Texas Storytelling Festival, Tejas Storytelling Association. Both of those are based right here in Denton. And he's also a founding member. J.B. Keith is also a founding member of the Dallas Storytelling Guild. So he's going to be telling some stories. And if you have been around the downtown area in the evenings, or if you've ever been on the Denton Ghost Tour, Shelley Tucker, she is the Denton ghost story expert.
Yes. And
if you can jump on that tour, it's so affordable.
Yes.
She will take you to all of these points downtown and tell you about the haunts. And she's really, really good at it. So can't recommend that highly enough. So if you check out Storytelling Festival this weekend, actually starts tomorrow at Denton Civic Center, not Quakertown Park. I'm sorry, everyone. You will get to hear some really, really wonderful stories. There's a lot of family programming, and there are workshops. So if you have an interest in maybe polishing your storytelling skills, or maybe learning to use narrative devices in some way that is meaningful to you or your career, your work, check it out. We will have all of that in Denton time. There is a brand new music festival coming up, and it is called BUTTS Fest. You didn't misunderstand that? BUTTS Fest. But the BUTTS stands for Better Understanding Through Trash Service. It is a music festival, but I think it has such a great origin story.
Yes.
This guy who lives in Denton, he's a classical guitarist and musician. His name is Michael Kokonakis. He started, I guess, last Earth Day, right around last Earth Day, he started showing up on the downtown Denton Square on Monday nights around 6:30, and he started picking up cigarette butts. And it didn't take long. He kind of gathered this group of volunteers that every Monday, I'm assuming weather permitting, I'm sure there are probably some Mondays where it's like, no, we're not going to be going and picking up cigarette butts.
Right.
But they will get together and they will pick up cigarette litter around the square. Keep Denton Beautiful actually gave Michael Kokonakis a key to the sidewalk butlers, BUTTLERS.
I had no idea that's what they were called.
Yeah, well, neither did I, and that's a trademark. That's a trademark, though, and they're all around the downtown square, and there are some, or at least one over on Fry Street on Hickory, at Fry and Hickory near the UNT campus, and he and his pals empty those receptacles. They also got together with several downtown bars and talked with bar owners and developed this bucket system for smokers. So there are cigarette kind of bucket ashtrays at places like, I'm going to say, if I'm not mistaken, I'm reaching back into my memory. I filed the story yesterday. Armadillo Ale Works, Harvest House, Eastside, I think. And he will actually collect the cigarette litter from those participating businesses, and they don't throw them away. You know what happens to them?
No. I have no idea.
I know. I mean, I thought cigarette butts, you just discard them. They basically package them and ship them to a company called TerraCycle. And this company they recycle the cigarette butts down to cellulose acetate, which they turn into pellets that are probably kind of plasticky, that are used to make things like park benches and children's play sets. So cigarette butts here in Denton are actually helping to create public lounging and play spaces all over the United States.
That's so cool. I had no idea that a program like that even existed.
So how does
let alone that we were a part of it.
Exactly. And the other thing that I thought was really kind of astonishing when I talked to, the program manager at Keep Denton Beautiful. I know her last name, it's Natalia. Now I can't remember her first name because I'm old. They installed these cigarette receptacles around the square and in the downtown area and also in Quakertown Park last September. And since October 1st of last year, Keep Denton Beautiful and their volunteers have collected just shy of 40,000 cigarette butts. I had no idea.
Denton, that's a lot of smoking.
Yeah. Well, and it also really, cigarette litter, from what she told me, is basically the biggest litter, the main principal litter on the city, state, and national level. That's actually most of the litter around people is cigarette litter. So
wow.
Didn't know this. So how did this turn into a music fest? Well, I asked Michael Kokonakis that, and he said that as this Monday night meeting went on, it kind of turned into a pub crawl, and people started, becoming friends, and a community kind of grew up around it. And a lot of them were interested in music, and a lot of them play music. And so he thought, we used to have this thing called 35 Denton.
That little thing.
Yeah, this little thing called 35 Denton. It was a spring break music festival, and he's like, we've got venues now that are hopping, and there's a lot of great places to play. So he basically booked about 45 acts that are going to be playing on Saturday and Sunday, and there are 3 venues. There is Harvest House, there is Armadillo Ale Works, and Rubber Gloves Rehearsal Studios. And it's mostly free. I will tell you that at Rubber Gloves on Sunday, it will be $10 to get in. If you show up before 5, it's $5.
Okay.
And a lot of activity on Sunday is starting, earlier in the day, like 2:30, and we'll have we've got the full schedule and everything. So it's mostly a free festival. And some of the venues might charge a little cover. So be prepared. But right now, BUTTS Fest 2020 they're not selling tickets, and they're not advertising cover charge or ticket charges for everything. So I am going to recheck that. So like I said, pay attention to tomorrow's paper.
It'll be in tomorrow's paper.
Yeah.
Dang.
So that's a lot of festival stuff, but it's officially starting. So what is happening in the business landscape?
Well, okay, so this is a little bit older, but I never got to highlight it on radio, so thought that I would. So this was a story that we ran last week that you can find on our website, but we have like a new concept shop in downtown Denton. It is called True Leaf Studio. And so what it is it's a plant shop.
Plant shop, y'all.
/ like events venue. So it's kind of a smaller space. It's where Basil's on the Square was, which is a block off. It's across the street from the Methodist Church.
Yes.
First United Methodist. So it's this really cool, interesting space. There's a million kinds of plants. There's what they call a terrarium bar, which if you're familiar, they've done some terrarium nights like at Armadillo where you get like a glass receptacle and you put dirt and rocks and plants and mosses and crystals and like random things all into your terrarium. So they have this whole wall set up where you can the owner, Taylor Bales, said it's like Luby's. You get your big aluminum baking sheet, basically. It was what it literally is. You put it on top and then you kind of just pick like what you want. If you want rocks, if you want dirt, if you want whatever kinds of plants you want to put in there. She has all these little goodies. She's working with the taxidermist to have animal skulls, but she also has what she calls vegan skulls, which are like little plastic molds.
Oh, very cool.
So you can have a vegan geranium still.
There you go.
And so all these little things. So they're open now. They're open right now, Tuesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. plus for their events. So if you find them on Facebook, you'll see they already have like some bonsai workshops lined up. They have guided terrarium stuff. They're hoping to have this be more of a curated gallery space. They have wedding receptions and stuff already booked for the space.
So they actually will rent their space out.
Yeah. So it's a small flex space like in downtown. Which is nice. It's like about 50 people capacity, maybe a little more or less. Like, don't quote me on that. But it's a nice size space, and there's going to be a lot of art education, a lot of classes in this space, in addition to just being a plant studio, which is adorable. Really cool.
And I thought the photographs it's a really great looking little spot.
It's very bright, like going from being kind of like a vintage thrift store vibe to now having all white walls and everything's really bright, and a lot of natural sunlight really lends itself to something like this where you can get crazy plants. She has stuff as low as like $5 for a tiny succulent up to,
and you can buy something in a container, right? And walk out with it.
Yeah, she has pre-made terrariums if you don't want to make your own, and those start at like as low as $20 and go up to Not 50 or so.
I have noticed that some of the the sort of the chain retailers have been kind of try to move in that direction. I don't know how successful they are, but when I was reading the story, I was like, this is a really cool idea. And it's nice to actually, if you want to do the air plant thing, or if you want to try to, take your black thumb and turn it into the kind of thumb that can tend to succulents. There's somebody there who can probably answer some questions.
Totally.
About how to do that without killing everything like I do.
I know. Mikey agreed that we could get plants now. So because I've kept my desk plant alive for 6 months.
I have a desk succulent that's looking a little ragged, but it's also growing in a strange place.
So, that's fine. Yeah, I told myself if I could keep this plant alive for 3 months, I deserve a house plant.
Houseplants.
And it's been alive for like six months.
What? All right.
And so the other thing that I wanted to touch on, which is just something more from the digital editor side, but something that's really exciting and that I hope that you guys follow along with, UNT men's basketball is heading into the Conference USA, the tournament. So right now, the men's team is the number 1 seed in the tournament, and they play tomorrow. So they will face whoever wins a game that's Old Dominion and Florida Atlantic. And the team's gotten a lot of good press recently. So just today, and we have on our website today, that the senior guard, Javion Hamlet, he was named Player of the Year for the entire conference. Wow. This is the first time a University of North Texas player has been named Player of the Year for the conference since 1989, which is a really big deal.
That's a huge deal.
And so in addition to that, the coach, Grant McCaslin, he is also Coach of the Year for the entire conference. So
way to go, UNT.
Yeah, so UNT
go Mean Green.
I've seen a lot more of my friends like going to UNT basketball games and getting more involved. And so, yeah, if you want to follow along with that, please follow along at DentonRC.com or go on Twitter and follow Brett Vito at Brett Vito. He's our UNT sports writer. He's covered the team for more than a decade. Super knowledgeable.
Yes.
He used to do this, but he's a little busy. Like he's on a plane right now to go cover this.
Busy.
So
well, and my spouse will probably be pulling out the statement UNT Mean Green socks. I am sure. I'm sure.
'Tis the season.
Get that green gear on, folks. And we are here at the Denton Welcome Center. So if you're hurting for a mean green gear, you can get it here.
You can come here.
Along with Texas Women's University Pioneer.
And NCTC gear.
Yes.
We have it all.
It's all
I don't
right
even
here.
work here. I'm like, we have it.
I was like, hey, you can get it here. And I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't make TW and NCTC mad. So.
Well, cool. Well, thanks so much for tuning in with us here on Denton Radio.
Yes.
This is our show, DRC Live. We will come at you next week with the latest in news and events and happenings at the Denton Record-Chronicle.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to thank our partners and sponsors who made this show possible. And now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton. Do you love live music? If so, make Denton, Texas your next vacation. Find more information at discoverdenton.com.